Here we go. I remember back when I was young and clever and all knew my name. But nowadays we only talk about the weather and nothing seems to change. Legends, people are born to be legends. Just a matter of your dreams. Legends, people are born to be legendary. I got a feeling that there's something that I'm needing. Got a target in my aim. I can take it, yes, I'm never gonna leave it, 'cause I'm harder than the game. Legends, people are born to be legends. Just a matter of your dreams. Legends, people are born to be legendary. Now my hands up. Believe when I say I'm not a king or a queen, but I rule the game I play. We come hard and loud, but I beat wrong around like a train bound that I got into the town. Next time to climb to shine, because I could be a hero and I'm colorblind, because that's the way I see you and I need that. Now feel that, say it loud there, here. You know my LGBTQ, should go down below. Legends,
Time for your reading. Get ready by typing the words, I understand. Choose your card from the image on the box. Comment, I understand, and Moonology messages, for example.
Sorry, hello and welcome everyone. Hi Jess, hi Monique. How you doing? Would you say a quick prayer to start us off? I call upon the higher self to answer these questions. I seek only truthful answers which are aligned with the highest and greatest good for all concerned. Jess, how you doing? Starting off with a mini read. I'm still half asleep. Let me get some energy drink. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay, love. Still feeling sick. So, I asked the question, has Corey ever cheated on you since you met 3 years ago? We got a no card. This is a card for defeat and surrender, change, walking away, self-sacrifice, self-sabotaging. I don't know who was self-sabotaging, either you or Corey. But I don't think he ever cheated on you. And we've got the judgment card. See, if he cheated on you, Jess, he would be receiving judgment right now. So for whatever wrongs he's done, he will be you always trying to fix. Yeah, if he did anything wrong, he'd be paying for it. You get the Judgment card a lot because I got that for you yesterday as well. And that's about self-evaluation, decisiveness, apportioning blame, and forgiveness. Let's get out the pendulum. I'm just going to reiterate. Has Corey... Oh, here we go. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Has Corey ever cheated on Jess? No. It took a minute to change. You're getting your good karma now. Jess, we're going to give you a dark magic card. Next. We've got reveal. Reveal the true you, the real you. What if you stop thinking about your clothes as objects, but as experience instead? How do you feel about what you're wearing right now? What experience are you having? It's time to make conscious clothing decisions and explore different external personas without worrying about judgment from others. Your inner world is expanding. Express your creative magical energy in how you present yourself to the world. Go through your wardrobe and let go of items that no longer bring you joy. Consider gifting or donating these items after washing them to remove dirt and energy. Add 2 drops of eucalyptus oil to the laundry soap to assist with the energetic cleansing. Keep items that you love and feel are authentically you. If they are very loved and threadbare, repair, recycle, or repurpose them. When reveal appears, it's time to ask yourself questions. A term called enclothed cognition was the focus of a study in 2012. This basically means that if you were to put on a white lab coat, commonly worn by doctors, your ability to pay attention would increase. Seriously, it's all about the symbolic meaning you attach to clothing and how it's received by those around you, which impacts their attitude and behavior towards you. This adds a new meaning to dressing the part, like actors do when they perform roles or doctors when they perform surgery. We do in our everyday lives, whether we realize it or not. If we have pulled the reveal card, harness your co-creative power with the clothes you wear. That's great, Jess. Sorry about that. I've got a cold, guys. Jess, I'm feeling the mermaid card for you. Yeah, so dress for success, Jess. Dress the part. Like, I know when you have a phone interview, if you get dressed up like you're going to an interview, you interview better. So dress for success. You need to explore your options. It's time to look for other possibilities, and it's good time to make change. And we're going to give you an Apple Luna card to finish you up. Talk less and listen more, Jess. You've been seeing the number 5 everywhere. Let me just look it up. Obviously, I don't remember all of them. Angel number 5 is about change and being active. So be more active, Jess. All right, Jess, that was your mini read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free mini read. Another mini read. Jess, whenever you see the numbers, just type into Google angel number and then the number, and it'll tell you what it means. Okay? It's best if you guys start looking them up. Thank you, Jess. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another one. Monique, you're up next. Sorry, Monique, we've got Jess in. Jess is a member, so she gets a mini read. Yeah, excellent. I'm just learning them, Jess, because they come up a lot. Okay, Monique. Will you speak to Tony soon? We're going to do that on the pendulum. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Monique speak to Tony soon? Pendulum says yes. Five is usually a loss in the tarot cards. Love. Okay, Monique, we've got the past life cards out, so we're going to tell you about a past life. You identified as an older woman in the middle Bronze Age. The lesson you were learning was self-expression. The death you had was by a natural disaster in Central or South America, and the trauma you lived through was exile. You had an esoteric faith and an arranged marriage. Thank you, Monique. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Love, you're up next. Okay, I'm feeling your message from KNL will come in the Dark Magic cards. Now, I don't understand your question. What are activations? Okay. We've got dream. Life can be a dream come true. Sleep is a kind of magic. Our bodies relish and rejuvenate during sleep. Our minds explore other realms. We gain insight into our subconscious, and we may receive messages and insight from our ancestors and beyond, which can assist and enhance our daily lives. When dream appears, life may be challenging in some respects. The person in the card slumbers, floating on a churning sea, oblivious to dangers around them. The nearby rocks have sharp edges, and the moon comes across the sky in an almost apocalyptic way. Dream is a blessing. It means you are safe as these events churn around you. Rest peacefully and be open to signs that appear in the dark realms of night, which can guide you through these times. Life can be a dream come true, so let your inspired happy dreams be the ones that guide you. Okay. It's telling you how to lucid dream. It says a diary for lucid dreaming enlightenment. Before you go to sleep, apply lavender oil or a special sleep or peace blend to your temples with your index finger and a few drops on your pillow. Keep a journal and pen next to your bed. Light a single candle and stare at its flame. Ask Hypnos, the Greek god of sleep, to bless you with a deep, peaceful journey between the worlds. Simply starting with this intention will open the gates to your dream world and help you remember your dreams upon waking. Activating certain energies in your aura. Well, they're telling you that the answer will come to you in a dream. Love, the answer will come to you in a dream. Good idea. Okay, so now you got the card that everyone always complains about, because we got father. In the late Middle Ages, the lesson you were learning was peace. You died of old age, and the location was India, and that's one of the things that they really argue about, India, because we've got, you were a witness or bystander to a terrible thing that happened, and your faith was secret. But you were LGBT, which is the other thing they complain about. They say there's no Indian LGBT people, but there are. There's LGBT people of all kinds. Thank you, love. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily reading. Christine. You've had a lot of past lives in India. Okay. Will Adesh be a good tenant for me? No extra information? What did the application look like? Did he fill in all the proper things, Christine? He didn't leave anything out, like the credit history? I live in Australia, Priyanka. Okay. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Adesh be a good tenant? The pendulum says yes for a dash. And I feel good because he hasn't forgotten any of the paperwork he filled out, the credit card slips, unlike that lady yesterday. I feel like a dash is a good tenant. Okay, Christine, past life card. So we've got you are identified as a grandparent. In the Crusades or intuition, the lesson you were learning was power. You died of hypothermia in Oceania, and the trauma you lived through was the loss of status or reputation because you were having a love affair, and the faith you had was mystical. Thank you, Christine. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Priyanka, how you doing? Yeah. Uncover your past lives oracle. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Priyanka get admission into the Indian Institute of Management in Madhya? The pendulum says yes, Priyanka. Okay. Let's see. You are a work slave, a concubine, an emancipated slave, or a prisoner of war. You're a sibling in the classical antiquity. The lesson you were learning was leadership. The fire you had, death was by fire. Northern Europe was your location, and the trauma you lived through was physical limitations. You had an agnostic or atheist faith, and you had domestic abuse for your love situation. Thank you, Priyanka. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Kevin Tribwan. Hey, Rami, you're up late. You usually come in the morning for you. I don't know what Vishwananak PG is. Will Kevin Tribwan's father agree for Vishwananak PG for her if she talks about it? The pendulum says no. Sorry, Kevin. Kevin, the pendulum says no. Okay. Let's have a look at a past life card. In this life, you identify as a child. In the Viking era, the lesson was accountability. You died of a broken heart in Western Europe, and the trauma you lived was slander. You were patheistic or animistic faith. You were a slave or a concubine as well. It says imprisoned, freed, imprisoner, or escaped. So I feel like you escaped from that, Kevin. Oh, it's a rental for you to live in. Yeah. It said yes. So, yeah, I think your father will agree. Thank you, Kevin. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Hi, Rami. You're up next. You sent me a new painting. Oh, thank you. I love all your paintings. Yeah, sure. I hid who I really am from you. Rami, I hid who I really am from you. Okay, did you email it? I'll check my emails when I finish. Okay, Rami, we've got, where are you? Other relative. In the age of discovery, you were overcoming fear. In the death was by public execution. In Russia, the trauma you lived through was betrayal, and the faith was profit-led. And you were promiscuous in this life. Rami. Thank you, Rami. That was your read for today. There's no one else in the room. I'll check my emails now. Hey, I got an email. Okay. Oh, we're back to it now. Sophie, how you going? Hattie, you're not joining the queue. We just had people come into the room, Rami. So I've got to move on now. Sophie, you're up first. Hi, Sophie. Sorry. I regret lying to you. He's not being 100% truthful with his feelings or his thoughts. Sophie, he's hiding himself from you. He's not being his true self. He's not being his true, authentic self in front of you, Sophie. He's still pretending to be someone else. Like he's... Okay, instead of getting you a past life one, we're going to get you a love oracle. Sophie? I don't know why you're bothering. You don't want to be with him, Sophie. We've got the butterfly. So the relationship could evolve to the next phase as long as you heal your inner child and have growth. Okay? But I thought he was too selfish. Sophie, don't settle just because you don't want to be alone. Look, the relationship could evolve to the next phase if you allow it to. So he does like you. He does want to be with you, okay? Thank you, Sophie. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Hattie. Hey, how you going, Hattie? Okay. Hattie. Okay. We've got the Three of Wands. So this card can mean travel, moving abroad, going to a foreign land. It can mean forward planning, moving forward, confidence, self-belief, freedom, success, happy with choices, and hard work paying off. Mass's next move with you and the kids. I don't know. I feel like he might be traveling or he might be moving. He might be working on his self-confidence and self-belief right now. I feel like he's working on himself, Hattie, rather than working towards you and the kids. Which is a good thing because he needs to work on himself before he moves forward to you and the kids, okay? He's a narcissist. Well, I feel like he's working on himself. Whether that's because he's a narcissist or not, I don't know. But it's all about him. So let's get you a past life card. So your identity was a guru or an idol. In the early Middle Ages, the lesson you were learning was forgiveness. And you died by suicide in Southern Europe. And the trauma you lived through in your life was mental illness. You had a Gnostic or dualistic faith, and your love was separated by distance. So you might find it hard to be separated from your loved ones. You don't want him back. Well, like I was having trouble with the card, Hattie, because it's not saying he's coming back. It's saying he's going traveling. Thank you, Hattie. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Brian Oliver, you're up next. Hi, Basic Beauty. You need to join the queue if you'd like a reading. Thanks, Hattie. Will Kevin and you ever be friends again? Yes, this is the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is about love. She's looking at that cup like she's in love, and your friends love you. They don't always like you, but they love you, okay? I think you will be friends again. Just give it some time and space. Okay, let's have a look at your past life. So you identified as an older woman in the Middle Bronze Age. The lesson you were trying to learn was self-expression. The natural disaster was your death. In Central or South America, exile was the trauma that you lived through in that lifetime, and you had an esoteric faith and an arranged marriage for your love. Thank you, Brian Oliver. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Phantom Punk, what are you doing over here? Why don't you ever come over to Twitch anymore? I'm on Twitch in like an hour and a half. Phantom Punk? Yeah, well, cool. As long as you swing by. You like getting 2 reads, don't you, Phantom Punk? Guys, Phantom Punk gets 2 reads because Phantom Punk visits me on Twitch and YouTube. So you can get 2 reads too if you visit me on Twitch as well. I do Twitch after this. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Phantom win on DK today? Pendulum says yes, Phantom Punk. Okay, let's get you a past life card. So, you were an older woman in the Middle Bronze Age. The lesson you were learning was self-expression. Natural disaster was your death. In the Central or South America, exile was the trauma. You had an esoteric faith and an arranged marriage. thank you, Phantom Punk. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Okay, next up is Svetlana. Hi, Svetlana. What are we asking about B today? Thanks, lovely. See you over on Twitch later. It's cold here this morning. I need some slippers. His feelings. I don't know which cards to use, Svetlana. Okay. Got the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is a mature emotional female. This card is about love, daydreaming, being psychic, and being easily wounded. But it is about love. So I feel like this person might be easily wounded. There might be a bit of a daydreamer, but they do have a bit of love for you because this is about loving and warmth and sensitivity and kindness. They do feel a bit of love for you in their heart, Svetlana, or a little bit of something. Do you know what I mean? You've got a sweet spot. They've got a sweet spot for you. Okay, Svetlana, I'm going to get you, because you don't really go with the past life cards, I'm going to get you a thought from the head. Okay, we've got, I wish I could share my good news with you. All right, thank you, Svetlana. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Yeah, I've got 1,000 subscribers now, Svetlana. Woo woo. Hey, BG, how you doing? The Basic Beauty, you're up next. Hi, Miracle Lux, how you doing? You're not a member yet. Guys, we're just going to play the membership video. Okay, Basic Beauty, can you just type the words I understand for me, please, darling? It's a disclaimer. The Basic Beauty, just type the words I understand, which means you comprehend me and know that I'm giving advice and you make the decisions. The Basic Beauty. Yeah, darling, you need to type the words I understand to get a reading. It's a disclaimer. If you don't type I understand, you can't have a reading. Let me just push through the message again and have you read it. Now type the words I understand. Thank you. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Is Basic Beauty making the right decision in love? No. Basic Beauty. I'm going to get you a love oracle card for your oracle to see what's happening. Okay. We've got healing heart. We've got healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addiction. So you might have a healing heart at the moment. Your heart is healing. It's not a time to find love. If you find love, it will surely fail. You need freedom from this toxic relationship or addiction that you have, which might be you might be addicted to someone rather than something. Yeah, it's time to heal. Thank you, Basic Beauty. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Ritu, you're up next. Hi, tune in. Thanks, Basic Beauty. You're welcome. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Ritu meet that cell this month? Ritu, the pendulum says no. Let's get you a past life card. Okay, we've got an identity as an adult female. In the Neolithic Revolution, life lesson was overcoming loss. You died by drowning. in North America, and the trauma you lived through was a disaster. You had a magic-based faith and a non-possessive love. Thank you, Ritu. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Joe, you're up next. Thanks, Ritu. Remember, every time you ask this, it gets pushed back a little bit. Every time you ask. Joe, we've got July. No, it could be July this year. It could be July next year. You just go to, I don't have membership on my actual website yet, Miracle Lux. Just go to YouTube and there's a join button now. If you click on the join button. Okay. Identity as a friend. In the American Civil War era, the lesson you were learning was passive conformity. Death was by torture. You lived in an underground civilization. The trauma you lived through was psychological or verbal abuse because you were in a cult and your love was a companionship. Thank you, Joe. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Shannon. Thanks for understanding, Shannon. Oh, you guys didn't tell me we don't have music on in the background. Sorry, guys. I'll put it on now. There we go. Now, remembering, Shannon, every time you ask, it gets pushed back a little bit further. So try not to ask very often, okay? Every time you use the word soon, it makes it happen a little bit later. So I would tell you guys to drop the word soon out of your vocabulary altogether. We've got November. Shannon? November. Let's get you a past life card. Okay, you were a direct descendant from royalty. And you identified... Oh, hang on. Do this one. Identified as a guru or idol in the early Middle Ages. The lesson you were trying to learn was forgiveness. You'd had a death by suicide in Southern Europe. Mental illness was a trauma you lived through. You had a Gnostic or dualistic faith, and a love separated by distance. So you might find it hard to have long-distance relationships now because of that, Chunum. Thanks, Chunum. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Miracle Lux, you're up next. So Miracle Lux, when I had a look at what the goal is, I just went to my YouTube page and there's a join button next to the subscribe button. You want to press the join button. And then there's 2 levels of memberships. Miracle Lux. Hi, Jotsna. Sure. We're using the Dark Magic Oracle cards today for the generals. And you got bats. You were driving yourself crazy. This is a card of mental release. Sometimes we think we need to hold it all in, to be strong and keep up appearances. But that becomes too much. When that becomes too much, we explode on the inside, driving ourselves crazy, and possibly on the outside, driving everyone else crazy too. Now, what is the greater mind crime? You driving yourself nuts, or the reason that you put yourself there in the first place? In your earlier years, the only thing changing faster than the outside world is your inside world. So Bats is also a card of cutting yourself some slack and being kind to yourself. The person in the card is covering their eyes and screaming silently at the noise inside their head gets louder and louder. Around them, the blackbirds beat and flap their wings until they reverberate like a storm. They have lost their way and are whirling around in confusion. The birds echo the old saying, bats in the belfry, born of an erratic flight of bats with the belfry being the person's head. So when the bat's wings flapping inside your belfry get too noisy, seeking advice from a trusted elder, friend or counsellor is a good place to start. This card indicates that you may be under attack from outside influences, which you're giving too much credit to. Whether it's bullies or grumpy, moody friends, it's time to step back, take a deep breath, and remember that you are intrinsically good, no matter how much others would seek to tear you down. Sometimes inner stress can cause physical expressions such as anxiety attacks or a general sense of unease. Reach out to an elder or counsellor, your family wellness provider, nutritionist, or naturopath for support. Make sure you speak up and get help you need. Don't suffer in silence. This situation will heal when you let yourself be helped and release any pent-up energy inside you in a safe and supported way. Oh, Miracle Lux. You see the join? Yeah, when you're ready, Miracle Lux, if you wanted to join, become a member, that's how you do it, by clicking on that join. If you just press on it now, it won't do anything. It'll show you the 2 levels of membership. And then you can just get back out of it if you don't want to join. But that'll tell you what's going on. Okay, we've got you identified as a wife in this life in the late modern age. And the lesson you were learning was walking the middle path. You died in childbirth. I think I've told you died in childbirth in a past life before too. In the Middle East, material loss was your trauma, and a philosophical faith, and you were a widower or a widow. So you're a wife, you're a widower. Widow. Thank you, Miraculux. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. BG, you're up next. How you doing? You came back after my horrible story. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will BG see Alex this month? Pendulum says no. Okay. Identified as a friend in American Civil War era. Lesson you were trying to learn was passive conformity, and your death was torture in an underground civilization, and the trauma you were living through was psychological and verbal abuse. You were in a cult, and your love was the companionship. Thank you, BG. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Tune him. Thank you, BG. Tune him. Moonlight, I'm Apple Luna. TrinityTarot is my company. We haven't got where are you? Tune him, where are you? Tune him. Oh yeah, they are tune him. All right, we got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So we've got bad news in earthly matters, lack of goals, lack of common sense, and irresponsible. Look, I think you might have some bad news, tune him. Have you already been accepted as a flight attendant? Or have you just applied? And when you're a flight attendant, I want you to still have goals. You're going to apply. Well, good luck. Look, being a flight attendant is one of the hardest things you can do. You have to be a certain height. You have to be a certain weight. And if you're not that certain height and weight, and if you're not pretty enough, you're not going to be a flight attendant. Sorry, tune him, but that's the way it is with flight attendants. You never get ugly ones. Okay. So we've got you identified as a husband in the early modern age. The lesson you were learning was gluttony. You died of dementia, in Africa, and the trauma you lived was abandonment. You had an aesthetic faith and an obsessive love. I wish you all the best, Tune Him, for this, but you got the card, the page in reverse, so it's bad news in earthly matters. I'm not sure if you're going to make the cut, but I wish you all the best and I'll pray for you. Thank you, Tune. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Lara. Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. Okay, I'm going to give you a love reading. So, first of all, my life is not as together as it seems. That's a thought from his head. He's not together as he seems. And the butterfly. So we've got a relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. So we've got this relationship is slowly growing into the next phase. You need to just stop going so fast. You are not in love with him. You like him a lot and you are falling in love with him. You can't be in love with someone that's not in love with you, that you haven't lived with or known for a good 6 months intimately. So the relationship is evolving, but it's evolving slowly. So I think you need to slow down, Lara. Past life card. We got you identified as an androgynous person in the pre-Earth time period. Self-love was your lesson. You died of old age, and the location was the stars. You had a psychic wounding as a trauma, and you were a celestial faith. And the love was true love. You had true love, but you are androgynous. Thank you, Lara. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Rosie, you're up next. Sweetie. I am so attracted to you. I am so attracted to you. Okay, identity as a wife. In the late modern age, the lesson you were learning was walking the middle path. Died in childbirth, in the Middle East, and material loss was your trauma. A philosophical faith, and you were a widow or a widower. Thank you, sweetie. That was your read for today. come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Jyotsna, you're up next. So we got Jyotsna, we got Amira, we got Punday, we got Party Girl, we've got Moonlight, we've got Marita, we've got Alyssa, we've got Aisha, and then we've got Keisha. Thank you guys for being patient. Jyotsna, I love you unconditionally. Okay. You were a guru or an idol in the early Middle Ages. The lesson you were trying to learn was forgiveness. Death was a suicide in Southern Europe. And the trauma you lived through was mental illness, which is probably why you suicided. There was a Gnostic or dualistic faith, and you were separated by distance from your lover. Thank you, Jyotsna. That's your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Amira, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Amira, if you come in, you can go next. We've got Punday up. Amira, you want to type the words I understand for me? Thanks. All right, Punday, you get yourself ready for me. I'll do Amira. Punday, you get yourself ready. Pure. Honor your temple. The person in this card is drowning in their own excesses. This echoes the ancient Greek myth in which a youth named Icarus flew too close to the sun with his wings made of feathers and wax. The wax melted and he fell to the sea and drowned. The myth has a cautionary message: don't fly too close to the sun. Similarly, this card offers that now is not the time to take overconfident risks. Know your limits. Slow down and think. It's time to honor. It's also a time to honor the temple of your physical form. Vaping, alcohol, drugs, they can seem thrilling, or it feels important to partake of them to fit in with your peers of all the world. But when pure is drawn, the message is that it's time to stop or choose to say no. At this time, your wings are wet and you cannot fly. You are looking at things through the lens of emotions, which can be distracting and misleading. You need the intellectual balance offered by the element of air for your wings to utilize their potential. Pure is offering guidance that thinking through things intellectually would balance your feelings. This card also has a positive side. The person is bathing in the element of water, which feels calm, soothing, and healing. While your emotions can feel overwhelming, like you're drowning in an ocean of them, they are also a potent form of energy. They can take you to a new adventure and give you a deeper understanding of the nature of existence. Pure says, honor your temple and you shall know how to truly feel alive. Okay, you were an androgynous person. In the pre-Earth time, self-love was the lesson that you were learning. Old age was your death. The stars was your location. And psychic wounding was the trauma you lived through. You had a celestial faith, and your love was true love. Thank you, Amira. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Punday, you're up next. Every time you ask this question, guys, every time you ask, when will I meet my future partner, my future soulmate, my future husband? Every time you ask, it gets pushed back a little bit more. So ask once and then wait. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Punday meet her future husband in 2024? 2025? 2025, Punday? And I wouldn't ask that again unless you want to hear 2026. No, that was your past life card. Amira, that was your past life card. You're not going to die. Don't stress about dying. Okay? So Punday, we got identity as a friend. In the American Civil War era, passive conformity was the lesson you were learning. You died from torture. In an underground civilization, psychological or verbal abuse was your trauma that you were living through. You had a cult faith, and your love was a companionship. Thank you, Punday. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Party girl. Geez, I'm cold today, guys. I'm just going to go and get some slippers, party girl. Let me get some slippers on my feet. My footsies are freezing. Okay. You guys are doing yourselves a disservice by asking, when will this happen? Not going to like it, party girl. Not in this lifetime. Not in this lifetime, party girl. Let's get a past life card. I feel like N is involved in this past life, party girl. So identity as a young female in the early Bronze Age, self-identity was the lesson you were learning. You died of a non-contagious illness in Mexico. The trauma you lived was imprisonment, and it was a monotheistic faith. But you had an unrequited love. So I feel like this is carried over to this life where you've still got this unrequited love for N. Thank you, party girl. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Moonlight. What is coming in June? So we've got balance. We've got trying to find balance, resourcefulness. We're going to have some ups and downs in June. We've got flexibility. You need to be flexible. You're going to be juggling life, juggling money, balancing books, transferring money, and it's going to be about profit and loss. So you need to just find a bit of balance this June between work, rest, and play. Hi, Kat. Okay. Okay, we're identified as a friend in the American Civil War era. Passive conformity was the lesson you were learning. Your death was by torture. In an underground civilization, psychological or verbal abuse was your trauma. And you were in a cult. And your love was a companionship. Thanks, Moonlight. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Marita. Hi, Marita. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Marita benefit financially from the tax credit? Pendulum says yes. But just remember, like with bureaucracy, it takes time. So I feel like it's going to take a little bit of time, especially with tax. You've got to prove everything. So get all your documents ready. Get all your proof ready. Okay. We've got, you were a father In the late Middle Ages, the lesson you were learning was peace. You died of old age in India, and the trauma you had was you were a witness or a bystander to a terrible tragedy. Your faith was secret, and you were LGBT. Thank you, Marita. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Eliza, you're up next. Hi, Miss Monica. Oh, I'm freezing. Okay, was F turned off by what you told him? Yes. He's overburdened and overloaded with responsibilities and stress and problems. He has the weight of the world on his shoulders. And he's been taken for granted. He's burnt out and he's in an uphill struggle. And then you dump that on him. Yeah, I'm taking Lemsip, so it's got paracetamol in it. Marita. Okay. So we've got an identity as a guru or idol. In the early Middle Ages, the lesson you were learning was forgiveness. You died by suicide in Southern Europe, and the trauma you lived was mental illness. You had a Gnostic or dualistic faith, and a love separated by distance. Thank you, Eliza. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Thank you, Eliza. No, thank you, Marita. Aisha. I want to be more than just friends. I want to be more than friends. Oh, you got a lot of past lives. I'm going to just pick one. You had a lot come out, Aisha. So I feel like you've had a lot of past lives. I picked this one out. So we've got your identity was an androgynous person in pre-Earth time frame. Self-love was the lesson you were learning, and you died of old age. The location was the stars because this is pre-Earth. We've got psychic wounding was your trauma, and your faith was celestial. And you had a true love. Thank you, Aisha. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Hi, Cooks TV. How you doing? Just jump on the queue if you want a reading. Keisha. We've got Keisha, then Annie, then Elise, then Miss Foodie, then Kat, then Miss Monica, then Little Notes. then cooks TV. Keisha. Keisha, we'll play a quick video. Okay. Keisha. Yes, Keisha, we've got the world. So this is success, achievement, accomplishment, travel, completion, fulfillment, sense of belonging and wholeness. I feel like going back to the kid's dad is a choice, and it will fulfill you and make you feel complete. Let's get you a past life card. Okay. Adult female in the Neolithic Revolution. Overcoming loss was your lesson, and drowning was your death. North America was the location, and disaster was the trauma that you were living through. You had a magic-based faith and a non-possessive love. Thank you, Keisha. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Annie. We're using the Love Oracle cards today, Annie. Okay. Took me a little while to get a card for you. Thanks, Keisha. We've got self-indulgence. Focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. It's time for you to focus on yourself at the moment and not focus on finding that love on the outside. You need to find the love on the inside first. So self-love, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. Please write down 11 compliments to yourself. Annie, 11 compliments to yourself. I want you to say them every morning to yourself. Okay. We've got an identity as a sibling in the classical antiquity. Leadership was your lesson. Death by fire in Northern Europe. And you had physical limitations. That was the trauma you lived through. And agnostic or atheist faith. And you lived through domestic abuse in your love life. Thank you, Annie. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Elise. Elise is up next. You gotta stop saying soon, guys. You gotta stop saying soon. Every time you say soon, it happens a little bit later. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Elise and her daughter's dad get married soon? The pendulum says no. Release the whens, Elise, and you'll be a lot happier. Okay, we've got identity as an older man. In the late Bronze Age, lesson you were doing was seeing the bigger picture. And you died in war, the Baltics or Central Europe location. Physical or sexual abuse was a trauma that you lived through. You had a primal or Aboriginal faith and a star-crossed love. Thank you, Elise. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Miss Foodie, you're up next. We might have to close off the queue soon, guys, because we're coming to the end of our session and we've still got 9 people in the room. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will Miss Foodie meet her future spouse before the year ends? Pendulum says yes. Okay. We got an identity as a sibling in the classical antiquity. The leadership was your lesson. Fire was your death. Northern Europe was the location. Physical limitations was the trauma that you were living through. You had an agnostic or atheist faith. And domestic abuse was your love. Thank you, Miss Foodie. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Cat's up next. Should cat cut ties with S? The pendulum says yes. You should cut ties. Okay. We've got a young male in the age of Atlantis, and the lesson you were learning was the abuse of technology. Death was accidental, and you lived on an island. Persecution or torture was your trauma that you were living through, and polytheistic faith, so many gods. celibate or asexual love. So you didn't have sex in this life, Kat. The Age of Atlantis. Thank you, Kat. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. You were at Atlantis, Kat. Okay, Miss Monica's next. You understand? We're going to have to close off this queue, guys. I've only got 20 minutes left and I've got way more readings than that. So we're closing off the queue. Anjali, I think you just... Did you make it, Anjali? Hang on, Anjali. I'll open the queue for you. Anjali, you jump on the queue. You can be my last person. Anjali, jump on the queue again. I just closed it. Yeah, you'll get your reading, Cooks. Everyone that's on the queue is going to get a reading, okay? Okay, Anjali, just jump on the queue for me. And then I'll close it off. Okay, choice. Your decision will be correct. When you don't know what to do, there is a wisdom in doing nothing and waiting for the universe to sort itself out around you until the way ahead is clearer. The person in the card is veiled, which means their vision of the physical world is obscured. It's time to look within for guidance, which may be different from what seems obvious on the outside. The branch suspended over their head could come crashing down at any moment. The choice hanging over them is heavy, but this card bears a gift. The rope that holds the branch is strong. It will not break. There is time to consider all options, no matter how much pressure you feel. When choice is drawn, it offers that there may be wisdom in trying both options and learning a double lesson. In other words, when presented with a choice, do both. Or if you must choose only one, let love guide your direction, not fear. Your inner wisdom will guide you. Will your choice be good for you, good for others? Will you learn from it? Will you enjoy it? Trust the choice you make. The odds are weighed in your favor for abundance and exciting opportunities. In the image, the birds of inspiration fly above. Radiant light of divine inspiration glows. You will make the right decision. Remember, the journey doesn't end with the decision you make. Life is an act of co-creation. Feel assured that your choice is the one you are meant to make to continue on your path. All right, Anjali, you're on the queue, so I'm going to close it off now. We can't let any more people on the queue, unfortunately. Okay. So, we've got androgynous. You are androgynous as your identity in pre-earth. Self-love was the lesson you were learning, and old age was your death. And the stars was the location, and psychic wounding was the trauma that you had. You had a celestial faith and a true love. Thank you, Miss Monica. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Cooks TV, you're up next. Kai, I'm sorry, I've had to shut off the queue. I've got plenty of people here and I'm finishing up in 15 minutes, Kai. You'll have to come back later today or tomorrow, darling. Sorry. Cooks TV, do you want to just type the words I understand and tell me what kind of a read you want? Sorry, Kai. Just a general reading? Sure. We're doing all the generals on the dark magic cards today. Good strength. Nurture your diverse talents. What if you could master multiple things? In Renaissance times, a person was celebrated for having many talents or areas of knowledge. As a young person, you may be criticized or mocked for trying new things and never seeing things through. You may be asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? As if there is one singular thing you must master. But what if what you are doesn't change and what you do does? When strength appears, it's a time for you to celebrate and nurture your diverse talents, not to settle into a niche or routine. Consider and explore multiple things that excite you and light a fire inside you. These interests may seem to oppose and contradict each other. For example, you might be drawn to science, but you also to being in a rock band. Strength also reminds us that life's journey is one of progress, not perfection. If you give up the notion of everything having to be perfect, suddenly everything is. Be confident that many things are drawn to all, have lessons and usefulness for you at this time. Instead of focusing on whether you're good at something, try to focus on what's good, on the good it's doing. If you draw strength when you're feeling trapped or bored, it's a sign to be open to new challenges, interests, and accomplishments. Okay, Cook's TV. We've got identity as another relative in the age of discovery. Lesson you were learning was overcoming fear. You died of a public execution in Russia, and the trauma you lived through was betrayal. Someone betrayed you, and you had a prophet-led faith and a promiscuous love. Thank you, Cooks TV. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Shannon. Little Notes, you're joined. You're on the queue, Little Notes. You're coming. Sorry, guys. We're just running a bit late today. Shannon Lee. Little Notes. Little notes, are you there? Yay. All right, how does A feel about you? It's A? Yep. How does A feel about you? We've got lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise epiphany, upheaval, transformation. Doesn't really give me much. Let me get you another one. We've got some sudden change happening for you, little notes. Some shocking news, surprise epiphany, upheaval, or transformation. I'm going to give you another card though. Okay. A might be calling you. We've got a love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you, letting you know. So he might contact you on social media. He might not say, hey, I love you, but he might contact you on social media and talk to you. He's going to be expressing that he likes you, maybe. We won't jump into love just yet, but I think he definitely likes you. Okay, little notes. Identity as a devotee or a follower. In the high Middle Ages, the lesson you were learning was greed. You were quite greedy in this life. And your death was a murder. Eastern European location. The trauma that you lived through was poverty, which is why you were so greedy. Ethical religion was the faith, but you got abandoned by your love. Thank you, little notes. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. D. D. D, you need to type the words I understand for me. Thank you. Strength. Nurture your diverse talents. What if you could master multiple things? In Renaissance times, a person was celebrated for having many talents and areas of knowledge. We just got this card. As a young person, you may be criticized or mocked for trying new things and never seeing things through. You may be asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? As if there is one singular thing you must master. But what if what you are doesn't change and what you do does? When strength appears, it's time for you to celebrate and nurture your diverse talents, not to settle into a niche or routine. Consider and explore multiple things that excite and light your fire inside you. These interests may seem to oppose or contradict each other. For example, you may feel drawn to science, but also being in a rock band. Strength also reminds us that life's journey is one of progress, not perfection. If you give up the notion of everything having to be perfect, everything is. Be confident that the many things you are drawn to all have lessons and usefulness for you at this time. Instead of focusing on whether you're good at something, try to focus on what good it's doing you. If you draw strength when you're feeling trapped and bored, it's a sign for you to be open to new challenges, interests, and accomplishments. Okay. Identity as an older man in the late Bronze Age. Seeing the bigger picture was your lesson. You died in a war. The Baltics or Central Europe. Physical or sexual abuse was the trauma that you lived through, and you had a primal or Aboriginal faith and the star-crossed love. Thank you, Dee. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Dia, you're up next. Dancing Glory, you're up next. Thanks, Dancing Glory. What kind of a read do you want? Just around the corner. Hans and you will go on a date just around the corner. So not too long. Okay. This life you lived as a child in the Viking Age, and the lesson you were learning was accountability. You died of a broken heart in Western Europe, and the trauma you were living through was slander. You had a pantheistic or animistic faith, so worshipped animals, and you were a slave or a concubine. Thank you, Dancing Glory. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. High Priestess, you're up next. High Priestess. Will High Priestess start working within the next 2 to 3 months? Pendulum says yes. Okay. You identify as a guru or an idol in the early Middle Ages. Forgiveness was the lesson you were trying to learn. You died of suicide in Eastern Europe, and the trauma you lived through was mental illness, which is probably why you suicided. Gnostic or dualistic faith, and you had a love separated by distance. Thank you, High Priestess. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. Desi girl. Eliza, you're just a bit late. We're just over time now, so I'm just finishing off the last people in the room and then closing down. You'll have to come back later today or tomorrow, darling. I'm just finishing up the last people in the room. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm still a bit sick. Desi girl. Babe, you're doing it the wrong way. You don't ask what your life looks like in 5 years. You've got to manifest it. So 5 years from now, where do you want to be? That's how you do it. And then you work backwards from there. You're acting like you're not planning or manifesting. Okay, we've got addiction, depression, mental health issues, secrecy, obsession, cheating, dependency, bondage, materialism, sexuality, powerlessness, hopelessness, abuse, violence, and assault. Desi girl, if you don't manifest where you want to be 5 years from now, you could end up here. So I want you to think, where do I want to be 5 years from now? What goals do I have to achieve to get to where I want to be 5 years from now? Start there, plan backwards. If you don't start planning now, Desi girl, you're going to be unhappy with where you're going to end up in 5 years. Okay? Because you always manifest 5 years in the future. Okay, you had an identity as an older woman in the Middle Bronze Age. Self-expression was the lesson, and natural disaster was your death. In Central or South America, and the trauma you lived through was exile. You had an esoteric faith and an arranged marriage. So start manifesting, Desi girl. Thank you. That was your read for today. Come tomorrow for another free read. Manifest abundance. You're up next. Okay. Tell me yes. Tell me no. Will manifest abundance be working a job in 2026? A business. It said yes to a business. Manifest abundance. So I feel like you're going to be doing a business in 2026. Okay, you had an identity as a wife in the late modern age, and walking the middle path was the lesson you were learning. You died in childbirth in Middle Eastern location, and material loss was the trauma that you lived through in that life. You had a philosophical faith, and you were a widower. Thank you, Manifest Abundance. That was your read for today. Come back tomorrow for another free daily read. And Charlie, my last one. Okay, I don't know what this means, Anjali. It was my fault, but I blamed you. I'm going to give you a love card to finish you off. Okay, we got the twin flames, Anjali. So yin yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. I feel like Jana, your boyfriend, is your twin flame. Yeah, he's your twin flame, and you complement each other. You're a yin yang. Thank you, Anjali. That was your read for today. And that was our session for today. We've got to get going. I've got to get onto Twitch now. So if you want more free readings, come over to Twitch. You can catch me at AppleLuna77 on Twitch. Light and love, folks.